This 100-year-old building used to be an abandoned Ford garage packed with rusting cars. Well, today, it's a thriving Artisan bakery and creamery in a little logging town in the mountains of Idaho. We're gonna go behind the scenes with my older brother, John, see how the business works, how it started, how we restored the building, and give you the full tour. By the way, welcome to the channel. I'm Isaac, and I love finding and creating beautiful places and building a life rooted in family, faith, and hospitality. So I want to do a full tour, hear the business behind it, the vision for the future. But before we take the tour, since this is all starting with food, I thought maybe we would order something for lunch.
Sounds great. So we're on to our lunch menu. It's after 11, so we got our pizzas up here, sandwiches. How about the steak sandwich? Is that good?
That sounds very good.
I'll try the steak sandwich.
I'm gonna get a pepperoni pizza and a huckleberry milkshake.
All of our meat products here come from the butcher shop just up the way.
All right, now that the order's placed, let's just follow the food through the kitchen.
Come on back. We'll take you first to where our pizzas and salad are made. This is Tristan. She's making, looks like a cheese pizza. Helen is here at our wood-fired brick oven. Looks like she's roasting a couple there to perfection, so looking forward to trying those. So come back this way, I'll show you the rest of the kitchen. So here's the main kitchen area. Got some homemade rolls being made here. I'll take you back. Looks like fresh cherries were just delivered. These are pie cherries, been picked this morning. There'll be pies this afternoon.
So this room, you said is a kitchen, but it's really the bakery. I mean, I guess pizza's baked too.
Yes.
But pastries are kind of what you're known for, right?
Yes, pastries, pies, that all happens back here. Homemade croissants, we then bake them fresh every morning. Cinnamon rolls, breads, rolls. The kitchen would be more our lunch. We refer to our lunch and breakfast menu. We also host a special dinner about once a month, kind of a reservation only. It'll be a different menu each month. And that's all happening back here.
About half the ingredients used in the restaurant come from right here in the local area. Over 20 farmers provide fresh fruit, vegetables, eggs, and dairy, while the butcher shop just up the street supplies all the meats. The Pie Safe was born from a dream. Since moving to the area a few years before, our family had dreamed of opening a bakery. This building was the cornerstone of our town, but it had sat abandoned for decades, its roof beginning to collapse. With the help of friends, we were able to buy it, taking on what would become the first of many historic restorations in our little town of Deary. Let's talk about the restoration. So a lot of these openings, you got these huge picture windows out into the little logging town of Deary here.
Yep.
You've got this glass sliding door that opens.
Yes.
Did you cut these openings into the brick?
Everything's original, so we had to add these pillars and supports because the trusses were sagging, and the rest of the openings were all original. We replaced the windows with a same size and shape, but a different glazing.
These posts were all added, and the trusses, tell us what that was like.
Yeah, so these trusses used to span about 48 feet, and they were sagging 1 to 2 feet. We cleared it all out, got an engineer, looked at the structure. It was still good, but needed some reinforcing. We did that. The winter after we finished, we had a record snow year that likely would have collapsed the whole building had we not added this reinforcing. So we got to it just in time.
Over 9 months, we worked nonstop to preserve as much of the original character as possible, including the exposed conduit and industrial feel of the garage. The total project cost right around $850,000. My dad and our friends owned a small construction company and were able to secure a construction loan to make it all happen. As a transition point between the more industrial part where the garage was,
yes,
and the sales part, you have the safe room, which is brick.
Yep.
It anchors the building.
Yes.
This is cool. Is this original?
That's original. The Wiley Motor Company, that's the original name. So that door is all original. We had to repair some of the brickwork. But yeah, this is kind of the centerpiece of the building. Yeah, there's a concrete vault in there that with big, thick walls. It's got a low ceiling. We were kind of at a loss to what to do with that. It kind of blocked all floor layouts we came up with, and so we decided just to embrace that and say, you know what, we're gonna highlight this thing that's right in the center of the building and make a pizza oven out of it.
Still here.
Still here.
So pastry displays,
yep,
pies up on top,
yep,
those are baked
baked fresh every day.
Every day.
All the pastries are baked fresh every day. We sell our day-old pastries for half price, so if you ever come here early in the morning, you can get a good deal on pastries.
Let's look at some of the product on your
Absolutely.
shelves. One of the most special things about this place is the emphasis on local artisans. Jams, honey, caramels, maple syrup, candles, and so much more, all crafted by small businesses. Some of these families have kids, siblings, or parents who also work right here in the restaurant.
These are all goods that are produced by local artisans. A lot of these artisans are just very small family businesses. They don't have the infrastructure to set up their own shop, so that was part of our vision, even in starting this, was to create a little space where they can bring their goods, we present them, decorate the room with them, and hopefully sell a few. The creamery is in here, but cars were much smaller back in the day, and they would actually be linked-ways in here.
This is also an amazing feature.
Yes.
Because I remember when we were restoring it, simultaneous to that, the creamery, which was the business I was in, and we needed extra space. And so there was additional square footage. We were able to create this beautiful make room in with aging caves. But then you have this cut through with the window so that you can actually watch every single day as they're making cheese.
Yeah.
A lot of guests probably love to do that. They order their food, they browse here.
Exactly.
Well, I wonder if our food's ready.
Let's go check it out. You can taste the freshness.
So, from day one, was there a line out the door?
No, it has increased slowly every single year. We've really tried to create an environment where people want to come, make this a half-day trip or a day trip, even come out and have a meal here.
I must say, this feels a lot more like an experience than a lot of restaurants. For one, the building itself houses a creamery where they're making cheese, where you can watch it being made. You have an open flame brick wood oven, wood pizza oven. You're using all these local ingredients. You have all these crafts in the space. It does feel a lot less like a transaction and more like an experience, which is a big part of the destination too, I'm sure.
There's a story here, and it's more than just feeding people. We're here to care for people and give them something that's interesting, that's unique, that's in a little town of 550 people. It's more than just food. We did this because it was something that we wanted to provide a place for people to come and meet their friends and feel like their restaurant, and we hoped it would pay for itself, and it has done that and actually generated a little profit. So
how did it actually come about that we were able to purchase this building?
yeah, we'd always kind of been told, oh, that'll never sell. But we got to know and befriend the previous owner and kind of learned of his vision for this building, and it was to restore it. But he was getting older and that wasn't gonna happen. It worked out, our visions really aligned. And so eventually he decided we were the right people.
When you were 10 years old, did you envision yourself the proprietor of a small town bakery and restaurant?
No, not at all.
But your wife, Grace, was into baking, right?
Yes, yeah, she grew up enjoying baking. She actually worked at a bakery for a few years. Always wanted to start her own little bakery, and that's one of the reasons this whole thing got started.
A lot of people say restaurants are a terrible business and you don't make any money and you have constant staff issues. Has that been your experience?
I would say it's probably the hardest I've ever worked in my life. I'll come home from a day here and just be exhausted, but it's by far the most rewarding. And I would say rewarding emotionally and also financially. We've been profitable every year since we started. Not huge profits, but enough to grow the business and keep providing even better service.
What kind of numbers, what kind of margins for a business like this?
We've averaged about 8 to 10% every year.
You're not gonna get rich overnight, but you can make a good living.
Yeah, we make a great living, modest living, and try to take good care of all of our staff and reinvest in the business, and I'm more than happy with that.
People are the most important part of hospitality.
Yes.
How have you gone about finding, hiring, and caring for retaining this team, which is clearly excellent?
Yeah, well, thankfully our team has grown with our customer base, and we really have tried to have a philosophy of caring for our employees in the way that we want them to care for our guests. So we've been taking like a company trip, couple-day trip, once or twice a year since we first started, and just creating a very caring, inviting culture with our employees. They're good friends of ours, and that attracts the kind of employees that we want.
I remember when I was working here, I was running around managing like 7 tables and carrying a giant platter of carbonated cranberry juice.
Yeah.
And I had the thing up like this, was running through the dining room, and somebody, actually nobody bumped into me. I lost the balance.
Yeah, you almost lost your job that night. Grace about fired you that night, but
yeah. I remember the wonderful woman who was sitting there to this day. She had like this really fancy fur coat on. Baptized her in cranberry juice that night. But so then she extended love to me. But yeah, it is a wonderful context for the employees to show hospitality to one another, you to your team, and then obviously your team to the guests.
Yeah.
When we first moved here over a decade ago, and we didn't have any family or any local connections here.
Yeah.
And it took a few years to build those and to build trust and eventually be able to purchase this building with a bunch of other friends that we made along the way and different folks that had moved here. You know, if you look at Deary today, we have the train car and Morning Glory Farm, a wedding venue and a restored farmhouse folks can stay at. And then here in town, the train depot, the butcher shop up the street, all these thriving local businesses, the creamery, of course. The restaurant, though, came first.
Yes.
And I think that it may have happened as an accident, but it's also by design, and that food naturally brings people together.
We've had several businesses even spin off from this. There's another bakery actually in town that helps us with some of our wholesale baking. There's ice cream is made as a separate business now. A rising tide lifts all boats. So that's kind of, it's been our hope, and it's really, I think, what this business has done. It's sponsored a lot of other enterprise in this area.
So one of the things I'm most passionate about today is helping to reignite a spirit of craftsmanship and cottage industry, family-centered businesses, generational businesses, a way of thinking that you don't have to scale to the moon to be successful. Obviously, there's different metrics for success, but having a business like this where your daughters can come and work when they want to and learn a craft, learn a trade, dad and mom are working in the businesses as well. What would you say to somebody else who has the same dream but doesn't know where to start?
You want to surround yourself with someone like-minded sharing the same vision. Because I see so many businesses like this start up, they're amazing, they're great, but it's more than what one person or even one family can handle. And they peter out after a few years. It's hard. I would say surround yourself with another family, a couple families, friends who share a similar vision, and where you can share that load equally. It's not something that one person can do on their own.
Say it takes a village.
It does. And it has taken a village.
In this case, to revive a village.
Yes.
So we both grew up in the same family with very strong values.
Yes.
And I would say our faith was the center of our lives.
Yes. Yeah.
You said to start the business was a step of faith.
Yeah.
What part for you personally has faith played in this adventure?
We as humans, we crave consistency. We crave things to line up, to feel resonance. And I really see this business as an extension of even what I believe. I say I care for people. Well, here's a perfect opportunity in the team that works here to express that and care for those people, to care for our guests. I believe this business gives us another opportunity to live out the faith that I profess, and it's a real, tangible, hands-on. We don't do it perfectly, but we can certainly try and do it to the best of our ability.
And at the end of the day, it's all about the feeling that you're creating for people.
And if the second greatest commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself, what better opportunity than all of our guests that come in here? So we do our best, and you do your best.
Well, if I'm looking for a job, it's been a decade, so maybe
we might rehire you.
I hope more than anything, you take away inspiration to take action, to make a difference. Everyone can make a difference in reviving small towns, creating family-centered businesses, community-centered economies, providing wonderful hospitality to guests.
Absolutely.
John, I appreciate your time, the tour. Can't wait till next time.
Sounds good.